we did this video yesterday. It was a reaction video. And guess how many views it got? It got 60 million views and it got 60,000 followers on Facebook. This just happened yesterday. I break down legal content within 3 steps. Number 1, it has to be valuable. Meaning, if I were to pay $5 to watch your video, would I be satisfied with the purchase? Attention is the new currency. If you say the law and tailor it to the viewer on how to either benefit them or harm them, bingo, you got the viewer hooked. It's all about getting the brains hooked. The reason why posts gets engagement is due to being...
Hi, welcome back to the Legal Lead Shark podcast, where law firm owners who are ready to scale smarter, dominate Google, and finally fix their marketing and intake gap come every week. Each week, we bring on industry leaders, legal experts, and strategic minds to show you what it really takes to build a high-growth law firm that runs like a machine and doesn't depend on you to grind the wheels. Today's guest, Bryan Fahim, founder of SocialVert, is one of the top video strategists helping law firms stand out online. He specializes in turning short-form video into long-term brand equity, helping attorneys show up with authority and convert more of those clicks that they're already getting on social into signed cases. If you've been stuck or your firm's feeling a little bit vanilla and not Cherry Garcia, this episode's for you. Bryan's pulling back the curtain on how law firms can dominate online. Bryan, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to this.
You're really interesting. You're kind of a unicorn in the space. I've talked to Bryan before, so I'm going to loop everyone else in. Bryan has actually been at this game since 6th grade. I want to start there, Bryan. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you develop this obsession in this space?
So I'll simplify what I do very easily. I help entrepreneurs become famous and get leads from social media. And what's funny is that I've been doing this for free longer than me getting paid. I started in 6th grade just making simple graphics and posting it online, and I got celebrities liking it, and I just got obsessed with the numbers. I started making some random accounts trying to grow. It felt pretty easy to me. And then my brother-in-law, who has a wealth management page, he wanted me to work on it. I edited a couple of videos for him, and an attorney saw the edit, hit me up, and I ended up making him the #1 most followed social media attorney in New Jersey. And now I'm here. I learned the attorney way of going viral and getting a law firm exposure from social media. And then one attorney led to another.
That's awesome. That's a little bit how I got into the marketing space with legal. Picked up a PI attorney to do Google ads, and I was like, this is awesome. This is such a competitive and high stakes game. I just became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And making video go viral for law firms, that is no easy feat because let's just use personal injury. I just said that one, right? Both Bryan and I work with all legal verticals, but how many personal injury TikToks or Instagram reels have you seen where it's like, if you've been in a car accident and blah, blah, blah,
Boring.
right?
So boring.
Oh my gosh. So tell me, how do you make legal fun and how do you help these attorneys show up? Mike Morrison, he has one of the best ads I've ever seen. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but the scene opens and it looks like Gotham City and it's Detroit, which is like almost the same thing, right? And it's at night and he's in his suit and he's carrying his briefcase. He looks over and this guy's getting into like a navigator and he drops his wallet. And Mike, the honest guy that he is, he's like, sir. So he's chasing after him, trying to get him to stop his car, holding the wallet up, sir. And out of nowhere turns an ambulance with its sirens on and it's coming up. And then he's like viral. It's showing clips of Mike Morris on the news and everywhere, ambulance chaser. Man, what a brilliant way to use an ugly narrative that's been painted in such a funny, hitting way that no one's done. Kind of give us some of that magic sauce that goes into making something that could be kind of boring, vanilla, Cherry Garcia.
All right. This is going to be a very detailed answer. Attention is the new currency, okay? So here's the trick. Law can be super boring, and people go on social media to be entertained and not educated. So this is where we mix entertainment, education, we call it edutainment. So the reason why posts gets engagement is due to it being relatable to the viewer. So most lawyers just say the law on camera and click post. And if you say the law and tailor it to the viewer on how to either benefit them or harm them, bingo, you got the viewer hooked, right? It's all about getting the brains hooked. So we have to look at law in a way and think about how we could tailor it to the audience. And because so many attorneys are not doing this, the attorneys that do this, they will engrave a brand into the audience's brain more than anyone else. And that's how they stand out from all other attorneys on social media. And that's why all my clients grow for a reason. And to answer your question, we know that attorneys are super busy. So we have to take both aspects of making it entertaining, which I'm sorry, a lot of lawyers are not good at, and they're being so busy. So we have to work around with their schedule. I found a pretty good, easy process on how to do that. It's all about just becoming entertaining and providing. I'll give you more of a rubric later down the line, unless you want it right now.
Hey, I mean, hit us with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I break down legal content within 3 steps. Number 1, it has to be valuable. Meaning, if I were to pay $5 to watch your video, would I be satisfied with the purchase? And if I'm able to be happy with the video and I get value in return, then I know it's a good video. A lot of the lawyers are just saying law to the camera and it's boring. The second thing is implementable, meaning can I implement the tips right after watching the video? And that's a super important thing because law can just be generic, hard terms that no one can understand. But if you relate it like 3 things to do after getting pulled over, then you have a higher chance of succeeding. And the third step is that it has to be unique. Obviously, a lot of attorneys go on camera looking a little bit boring. We bring the energy out of them. We make sure we get good editing styles that match their personality. And that's the 3 steps to succeeding as an attorney on social media.
100%. And I follow a lot of lawyers. Obviously, this is our space. I see what they're putting out on social media. And 9 times out of 10, it's just scroll, scroll, scroll. Even ones I like. And I'm being honest. Sorry, I'm kind of outing myself here, but I'm like, that was just like the other 5 that I just watched,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
And then you get one that pops off. There was an attorney, and I forget who it is. Gosh, and I want to give him a shout out. But anyways, there was this accident that happened. I mindlessly scroll TikTok just to turn my brain off at night, right?
I feel you.
So there was an accident that happened. A commercial truck, a big semi truck, was rounding a corner, and there was service workers are working on the light pole. And when the semi comes around, he was too tall and it actually hit that guy's bucket. He flipped over and almost dropped onto the ground, but he's dangling and he got hurt. And this personal injury attorney took that clip, which is already clickbait, right?
Yep,
Because
yep.
you want to see what's going to happen. It opens a loop,
Mhm.
which is what you're really good at. And we're going to get into that in a minute. You can't just tell law. You have to tell a story. It's story selling is what I like to call it. You have to open a loop in someone's mind for them to say, well, what's going to happen next?
Mhm.
I was thinking to myself when I saw this clip, before I saw the attorney do his little riff on it, I was thinking to myself, oh man, I hope he called a personal injury attorney. And I wonder if he could sue for that. Did they get the guys, all the little details, right? My mind starts wondering. So this personal injury attorney, 2 days later, did a here's what his rights are video. And then same thing with all these dash cams and people doing that scam where they reverse into you and they're trying to sell the dash cam. But for a personal injury attorney, that's a perfect situation of what do you do when this happens? You are the creative and brilliant mind behind that because attorneys went to school to be attorneys. They didn't go to school to do
Entertainment.
marketing. They didn't go to school. Yeah. They didn't go to school to entertain people on social media.
Words.
And anybody that's showing up on social media and doing it right has a Bryan Fahim behind them.
Mhm.
They're not just like Mike Morris didn't make that commercial up. Someone thought of that for him and then he filmed it.
Yep.
You know? So let's talk a little bit about that and how you basically are behind the scenes. You're the man behind the curtain doing all the stuff.
Okay. I would break down content into 5 steps, and this is what I do for all the attorneys. The first step is ideation. The second step is scripting. The third step is recording. The fourth step is editing. And the fifth one is captions and posting. And if we do the ideation, we do the scripting, they have to record 1 hour for the whole month. We do the editing and we post the captions. So it's a very simple process because we know attorneys are so busy. And to really figure out what's entertaining for them, if you have a video like that, if you see a car accident or a truck accident, the best thing to do is a reaction video 100%. And what you could do is 2 things. And I always tell my clients to do reaction videos, even if it's for some of the scripts. You could either simply prompt the audience for engagement purposes. For example, we did this video yesterday. It was a reaction video. And guess how many views it got? It got 60 million views and it got 60,000 followers on Facebook. This just happened yesterday. So there's 2 ways that I would go around if you haven't video and you want to react to it. The first thing is just be like, who do you think is at fault? Let me know down in the comments. Something very simple. You can add 3 seconds extra to the video so that way the main focus on that video and you're good to go. The second thing is that you could explain it from a lawyer standpoint, but also give not enough information to allow the viewers to respond back to you. That's what I would do if I saw a video of like a truck or a car accident and all that. I make them react, but I also tell the client to prompt the audience so that way they could get the engagement. And once you have the engagement, guess what? You can have 60,000 followers, another video going 60 million views. That's just one trick of how to make a video go viral when you see a video that you just want to react to. That's just not scripting or anything. You could simply just react to this and do it right now.
Yeah, brilliant. Engagement. A lot of lawyers are making videos to check a box and they're boring.
Yep.
And there's no call to action. There's no reason for me to interact with this video. There's no open hook for me to want to know what happened in video 2, which I hate that on TikTok, where it cuts it right where you want to know the cliffhanger,
That's the important trick to it. Yep. You gotta
Yep.
do that.
And then those open loop videos that kind of start and stop and then start again, and you don't realize you just watched the same video twice, and, and you're like, oh wait,
For watch
it's
time
repeating,
purposes, that's the goal. A video will go viral if the watch time is at the highest. Because think about it from a business standpoint of the platform. If you're on Instagram and it loops, Instagram gets paid if you keep the audience on the platform for as long as possible. If you're able, and that's how they run ads and that's how they do that. So you make money just keeping people on the platform for as long as possible. If you tell them to go on another platform, you'll actually hurt your reach.
And again, if you're wanting to show up on social media, that's one thing. But if you're wanting to show up to get conversions, that's strategy. And that's why I brought Bryan on today, because there is a strategy behind every single video you post, whether it's for engagement, whether it's for watch time, whether it's for a call to action to DM you. Every video has a piece of strategy behind it. And I see so many law firms that are, I don't know if it's ego. They want to do it all themselves. So they're having pride in wearing all the hats, right? I process payroll at midnight. I'm like, what are you doing? That's a $10 an hour task.
They need a delegate.
You know?
They need a delegate.
Yeah. And then as far as content creation goes, even and I'm a marketer, even I, after talking to Bryan, was like, what are your rates and how can I hire you? Because I'm a business owner too. I don't have time to think of all these creative things and to make sure my editing is popping. And Bryan, what do you do for law firms as far as, like you said, you're providing them everything they need to do. They can get it done in 1 hour and your team handles the rest, right? All of these creative ideas with strategy behind them for something, for an action. You're providing the law firms, right? Literally, they can just point and shoot, give you the stuff, and then be done for the month, right?
1 hour, that's it. That's all they need. We do everything. Ideation, scripting. That ideation and scripting is the most important part, just for the content aspect of it. Once that's done, the client just records, and I have a whole recording guide, and it's so easy. If they have a teleprompter, it's game over. They can finish it very quickly, very quickly. But if they just have a script next to them, I separate it line by line. And that's super important because a lot of attorneys don't do that and it just sounds like you're reading an essay. So if you separate line by line, you read the hook. Let's say pretend like the sheet's right here. They read the first line, say it to the camera. Read the second line, say it to the camera. And I just cut all the dead space out. We edit all the videos, give it back to them every weekend with the times posting captions, and we could post for them. And that's all they have to do. I try not to take too much of their time. And if I'm able to bring great results with only them investing 1 hour in the month, that's great. And hey, I'm in the process of even developing a clone, an AI clone that could help them out as well. But that's only it's optional. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But I'm trying to simplify and save so much time for an attorney. And that way I'm able to just do the work for them. And that's the best way to do it.
And then they have a huge bank of content that's edited to make them look like a rock star that has the captions ready that they can just recycle, right?
I mean, honestly, sometimes they'd even open the platform itself. I take care of a lot of the stuff. If they want to ever repost it, they already have the captions for it. So everything's super organized for them. But it's the social media aspect of it that I will take care of, the content and all that. If they want to repost something, if we see something's trending, okay, we need to post this again, we will do it. We have everything ready. It's not too hard for them at all. It's something they enjoy. Open up their phone. They see a lot of views. Like, okay, I'm doing well here. And that's the goal.
Yeah. And that client you just talked about yesterday that got how many views?
60 million views from one video.
60 million views. And then how many new followers?
So 60,000 followers on Facebook. And quick tip for any attorney watching this, when you post on Instagram, put the recommend on Facebook feature on. That's how we got 60 million views. We posted on Instagram and it just took over on Facebook. And now 60,000 followers on Facebook. We got some followers. I think we got a couple thousand followers on Instagram just from that one video. So thousands of followers were just easily created from one video.
And those are 60,000 new followers that haven't seen last month's content. And that's where Bryan can come in and his team can loop some stuff. So you're not just, it's not a constant grind. You're going to eventually have this huge bank of content. And some of it may be irrelevant later. Some of it may still be relevant that you can still use. But your team can help them manage that too, right? It's either a done for you service and then they can go post it wherever they want, or they can just pull you in to do all of it and they give you the video and they're done for the month.
Either or. Sometimes attorneys want to be a little bit more hands-on, which I'm totally cool with. If the attorney doesn't want to be hands-on, doesn't matter. I will say that the best platforms for an attorney to advertise, just for to get clients, not for connections or anything, but to get clients, I would say it's Meta, which is Instagram, Facebook. TikTok is really good because it's a geocentric app, and YouTube is really good for nurturing. And what you said about, going back to the other month's content after they see that the new followers came in, we follow a funnel, and this is the funnel that a lot of attorneys are missing, and I'm going to share it right now. So you have to follow the top of funnel approach, and that's to create broad content. Now, a lot of lawyers are so focused on making so niche content, but they're never going to grow. If, for example, let's say a personal injury attorney or a criminal defense lawyer, whatever, any example, you want your top of funnel, you should have broad content that gets an audience, because you never know who's going to get into a car accident or have a case or anything. If you develop broad content, we made a video talking about not to bring a fake designer bag at the airport due to legal reasons, and that video itself got, in total for all my clients, maybe over 50 million views. And that topic itself got a bunch of followers. And now anyone who sees that top of funnel content, they're going to get nurtured a little bit with middle funnel content. And that's where you're able to create fun niche content. So if you're a, personal injury lawyer, if you want to say, here are 3 things to do after a car accident, that's a boring way of saying it. Obviously, you can make it way more fun, but that's the middle content. They're going to become nurturers. They're going to see you as a fun attorney, but also a knowledgeable attorney. And then the bottom of funnels where you could have your call to action, put meta ads or whatever you want to do to convert the followers into, potential leads.
Yeah.
That's the whole funnel behind it.
Yeah. There is strategy. Just when I'm running Google ads, we are limited by so many characters on what you can say on the headlines and what you can say in the ads and what the pictures can be. It takes strategy to be able to be the Cherry Garcia in such a limited capacity that it's just not worth your time to try to think of the strategy when someone's already figured it out. They've already cracked the code on what works, and they are literally just handing you a script saying, just film this and it will work.
Time is valuable, and attorneys, I think they know that by now. And here's the thing. If I'm able to do hours of ideation for you and a lot of scripting for you, editing takes so much time. I don't know if you've seen any of my edits, but a lot of people, if they know if a client works with me by my edits. So it's a brand itself. That's so time consuming. And if I'm able to make a high quality brand and a high quality edit on social media without them spending more than an hour, then I achieve success for them, That's the whole goal behind it. If I'm able to save their time and go viral for them, and it just pushes more exposure to their law firm, then bingo, we got it.
Yep. And this is very timely, this interview, because I did an interview several months ago on SEO. Have a guy that went to the NYC conference. Google puts this on, right? Themselves. So from the mouth of the beast, how to show up. And essentially the undertone of that was, we have no idea what's happening with AI. It's moving so fast that what they said for the entire conference in every single presentation that was given from the head of Google all the way down, they said, the one way we know you can stand out is a personal brand. And the one way to be a personal brand is in video. But here's the other kind of divine timing of this interview. Instagram just released that now your profile, if it's set to public, is searchable through keywords of people that don't follow you. So if you have a banger on Instagram on criminal law, let's say a DUI video, and it popped off on Instagram, and someone Googles DUI lawyer, now your Instagram gets to populate in Google search, which is just a massive value add. And they're trying to figure out how to navigate AI and search, and Google's scrambling, which is good for the rest of us, right? They haven't had to be creative in decades. They've owned it. And now they're on their toes again, and it's just making it better for all of us out there that are doing these things. The only way to be a personal brand is to show up on video. You can post a bazillion posts that are stagnant, and they're just going to get scroll. But you start showing up on video, and that changes the game.
Personal branding is everything. People trust a person rather than a business. And that's what I've realized. A lot of people come to me for Bryan, Fahim, and not SocialVert, right? And I'm able to delegate a lot of work within my team. That's the beauty of it. Personal branding gives you unlimited opportunities. And here's even better. God forbid, your law firm could do bad. Your business could do bad, whatever, but you still have your personal brand that you already developed. You could always just tailor your personal brand to your new offer and you still have that success on social media. That's a permanent asset that you always have because you developed it. And yeah, with that new update of SEO, it's a game changer. That people are spending thousands of dollars on SEO now. Social media is SEO. And I'm going to give a quick tip for any attorney watching this. You have to optimize your bio. A lot of attorneys out there are not optimizing their pages to convert viewers into followers or followers into leads. And that's a crucial part. Right now, if you're an attorney listening to me right now, I'm going to do a consultation for you that's going to help you with the new SEO update. So first things first, your profile picture. A lot of attorneys are messing this up because if you look unprofessional on your page on Instagram, then I don't know if I want to work with you. A lot of attorneys they show their torso more than their face in the profile picture. So I want to trust the face, not the torso personally.
It's all in the eyes. Like you got to zoom in on the eyes.
Eyes and the smile, right? And that's what it is. And that's what I always tell attorneys to do. And if you have a bad background, you could always go to pfpmaker.com. Put your background colors. Now you have a good profile picture. Your username is super important. A lot of people have their law firm name, and I honestly disagree with that. You should have a personal brand. People come to a person rather than a business. It's just how it is. And let's say you could do Attorney Bryan, for example. That's something that I would do. Attorney Bryan, cool. That's your username. Now, if anyone searches up an attorney or searches up the name, your username pops up. Your URL, Attorney Bryan. There we go. That's the first step of SEO. Second thing is the name itself, which is the most searchable aspect on Instagram. And a lot of people just have either their law firm name or just their name in general, their first name. This is super important. What I would do is I would say Bryan Fahim, a line in the middle, and then I would say the state where you are in, and then lawyer, not attorney. The reason why is due to Google Trends. People search up the word lawyer more than attorney, at least on social media.
I'm gonna jump in. We do that on Google Ads too, because what we find is blue collar searches lawyer, white collar searches attorney, and they're making the same mistake. Take every social platform you have. Go to LinkedIn. It's so-and-so's name, attorney. Attorney of what?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Exactly. Exactly.
Attorney at this law firm. What do you do? Are you a family lawyer? Are you a divorce lawyer? Like, what do you do?
Exactly. And that's another step. You could choose your category within a professional account. So you could have personal injury lawyer, criminal defense lawyer, or whatever it is. You could do that, which is massive for SEO. The next thing that I would say, just to make sure your name is formatted correctly, you would have your first name, last name, line in the middle, the state where you're from, and lawyer. So Bryan Fahim, line in the middle, New Jersey lawyer. Now we move on to the bio, which is also super important. A lot of people just have random stuff, numbers, like it's the old days. Like you can't do that anymore. I break it down within 3 lines, which I highly suggest you do. The first line is who you help and what you do. You could be like helping clients get paid big for injuries or something like that. The second line is kind of like showing an achievement that makes you credible. Like for me, I would say on my page, I have something like I got over 1 billion views from my clients and millions of dollars generated, whatever. For an attorney, you could have like millions recovered for clients or annually or whatever it is. You want to seem credible with your second line. And within your third line, it also depends on what stage you are in within your account. I would sometimes say you have a call to action to get more followers, and then you could also put your website link. And now anyone who goes on Google, searches something up, and they see your page, they could just follow right away because you gave them direction of what to do next. And that's how you would take advantage of this new SEO update. And obviously your captions, there should be more detail, but that's it.
Yeah. 100% go audit your accounts. I promise that 9 times out of 10, you're doing it wrong on just simple things that you probably think don't matter. But from an SEO marketing perspective, other people are crushing you. I have this example I use, Bryan. I tell my clients this all the time because we do Google ads, LSA ads, we do map pack, get you at the 1 through 3 in the map pack, right? So getting you to the top of Google is our game. Now the new way you can with avoiding SEO, which I'm just going to say it, I don't know, people out there, I'm going to get a bunch of hate comments from the SEO people. It's going away. Like something, even when Google's scared and they don't know what's happening, I don't know if I'd put a huge investment in that anymore. But let's just say you've got your profiles optimized, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your Facebook, you went in, you've made all the fixes. Bryan just told you exactly what to do, and you're running ads and you're showing up at the top of Google on everything now. You're showing up in LSA ads, you're showing up in the map pack, you're showing up. Google ads is a bidding system, so you could be spending $1 million a month. You don't get in the top 1 through 3 every time. Having an Instagram profile now that's optimized, that's getting a lot of views, because again, when they search the keyword that you're after, they're going to pull the Instagram accounts that are what? getting views and engagement under that keyword, right?
Only the start too.
So strategy. That's like the undertone of this podcast episode is there's so much that goes on behind the curtains that people don't realize. I want to ask you another question. I see this a lot with attorneys, and I tell a lot of them that they're doing blockbuster marketing and not Netflix. And here's what I mean by that. A lot of the legal space, it's the old boy club. Everybody had a billboard. I'm going to have a billboard.
Yep.
Everybody has TV commercials. I'm going to have TV commercials. And they are spending so much money on pattern interrupt. What are the odds that if you just got a DUI, your criminal billboard's going to be right there? And they're like, oh, thank God I can call so-and-so. There's so much that goes behind doing things strategically with your budget. And the ones that are doing it strategically are winning. My clients who are doing strategic things on Google are winning. Your clients who are showing up on social media strategically and getting engagement are seeing an ROI from that, right? Let's dig into that a little bit more. Now we've got a plan. We've got a guy that tells us exactly what to do. We've got our content going out. We're getting all these views. And then what happens? Because a lot of these attorneys, they may be showing up everywhere, but they're seeing nothing. It's crickets. There's no phone calls coming in. So how are you getting the social to convert to money? You said you've closed helped your clients with millions. And you've got a banger testimonial page too. I'm going to leave that in the description. You guys can go to his site. I've watched all of his testimonials, and it's real lawyers telling you, like, Bryan changed the game. I brought in all this money. I brought on all these followers. So tell us kind of the secret sauce behind how you're turning this social asset into a money generating revenue for these law firms.
Got it. So there are multiple ways on how you can do this because social media, there's so many options. Once we convert viewers into followers, or you don't even need to, you can either convert viewers to followers to leads, or you can convert viewers to leads itself. There are so many ways that we could do it. For example, the first attorney that I ever worked with, we took him to 110,000 followers within just 6 months. He was able to get a lot of DMs, and he would just refer that out. So like, even if he couldn't handle it in New Jersey, he gets a lot of referrals. That's one thing. So if you're able to prompt someone to DM you for help and you start a conversation, you're able to take on that case. You're able to help them out or just refer them out or whatever. That's one way of doing it, DMs. Second way is ManyChat. ManyChat is an underrated way that a lot of attorneys just don't take advantage of. I'm just talking about organic ways of converting, by the way. But if you tell the audience like, hey, comment the word police and I'll send you a guide on what to do to protect yourself when you get pulled over. And if someone gets pulled over and then someone has a traffic ticket or whatever, if you handle that, you could take that, right? So that's another way. You start a conversation with the DMs from either organic or ManyChat. Another thing is bottom of funnel call to actions on the stories. A lot of people end up converting on the stories. Stories are actually the number one way of getting sales, even for any business on social media. That's what I've discovered. Because if you're able to add urgency and scarcity, then it's game over. But for example, if it's July 4th weekend, it's like, hey, if you got injured, be careful, blah, blah, you know who to call. Obviously, you don't want to be so gimmicky, but that's a strategy itself. Now, the best way that I found to convert and to actually get more direct leads is doing meta ads. And I say that you need organic content to get good results in meta ads because if you run a meta ad, they have nothing to back it up. If you just have a random page and you're running some meta ads and then they go back to the page and see something empty, it's like they have nothing to get nurtured by. So what I say is like develop a good organic foundation. Once you do, start running meta ads. Meta ads, you could have a lead form and you could retarget Facebook, Instagram engagement for like 365 days. You could be so specific with your audience targeting, then have a lot of call to action to get a lead form. Congrats. You convert a lot of those viewers already engaged with you into leads because you already got them nurtured. Now, something that I do say, I always tell my clients to, if someone comes to you from any other marketing aspect, ask them, did you ever see my social media? Because a lot of people go on social media and get nurtured and then go back to their Google website and they convert. And that's the hard part about like, oh, am I getting results on social media? Yes, you are. Because if you ever stop, and we've tested this, if you ever stop social media, you'll see that your general cases go down. And I've realized this, that when you focus more on exposure, you end up getting more leads if you just were to focus on leads. And that's the tricky part to it. Just to wrap it up, you could get conversions from DMs, ManyChat conversions as well. That's organically. You could do meta ads. But the biggest thing that I see is people go on social media to get nurtured and then they go on your Google website and they just call from there or just go for it. So those are just some general ways of converting, but
they met you on social media. Now they like and trust you because you don't sound like everybody else out there with all the others. Yeah. Exactly. And then they go and convert. Yeah. Google tracked this and said that there's 7 hours typically And they're speaking broadly, all business owners, but to get someone nurtured is typically a 7-hour touch.
Yep.
So showing up on social, following them with your meta ads, and then you hit something too that I think most law firm owners are not doing well. And that is you're pulling in a lot of leads that you're like, irrelevant. I'm not in that state. I'm not in that legal practice. I had a guest on, Chris Rose, and I'm going to introduce you to him because you guys are going to have great synergy. Chris is hilarious.
I have a call with
But
him after this.
perfect, because Chris actually, what he does, he's an attorney out of Las Vegas, but he saw the whole of you're not working your leads. It doesn't matter if they're not your legal vertical. It doesn't matter if they're not in your state. You can get paid from that. You're already doing the work to pull them in, whether it's Google, whether it's Meta, whether it's Instagram. Convert those into ROI for your law firm. And there is probably millions of dollars on the table for law firm owners who aren't doing that right.
Look at Law by Mike, for example. Law by Mike, he has 1 million followers, I think 10 million subscribers on YouTube. He started off just within his state, but he got so much social media exposure that now he has an attorney within every state just from social media. So he just refers cases out to every state. It's the same thing with Top Dog. Like he's able to refer just because of his social media presence. That's the power of social media. I even have clients who doesn't want to become a lawyer anymore just because they see so much potential as an attorney on YouTube where they could get paid and educate. There's so much potential and so much flexibility when it comes to social media that it's unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable.
It is. It's a gold mine for anybody that's willing to connect with the right people and tap into it. It is 100%. Okay, Bryan, last question for you. And this is a fun question. Okay. So if your life was a movie and every time you're walking into the room, what's your theme song?
Oh my God. Honestly, you're going to probably laugh at me this. I'm pretty psycho when it comes to me working. I love working. Like I always thought myself like I was a college kid in like 6th grade body and working. So like I'd probably just say some nice classical music, Idea 10 by like Gibran, and call it a day. Like I just like that classical guy, just puts their head down, locks in, works. I don't want to be like that, like a WWE entrance. I'm not like that. I just want to just full on just work. So I guess it'll just be something very calm, very calm. It's an awkward
Nice. I
answer,
like
but
it.
it's very calm.
I like it. Yeah, true to who you are. Bryan, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of it. I know that just fixing the things that he told you, he dropped so many nuggets. I hope you rewatch this because there was just so much in there that you could be implementing. But I recommend, like I do often, hire the expert and spend your time and your ROI where it's going to be best, which is being a powerhouse attorney and scaling your law firm, and let all of us work behind the curtains for you to make the magic happen, to bring the leads in, to get your exposure out. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode. There are other power-packed episodes with great guests just like Bryan, who are experts in their field that help law firms scale their law firms smarter, not harder. I hope you'll join us for the next episode. We'll see you guys there.